Hello, my name is Caroline and I'm a homeschooling mom of 6 girls. I use a Charlotte Mason approach, and specifically I use Ambleside Online for most of our curriculum. And I wanted to do a short little video about how I use a timer in a Charlotte Mason education. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that I do not remember where I heard this information or where I read it. I'm guessing it was somewhere on the Ambleside website or in the Ambleside Facebook group, but it really stuck with me and made a lot of sense as my girls got older, and even as I dealt with some neurodivergence in our house and in the way my girls learn. So using a timer in a Charlotte Mason approach probably is different than you think. And the main use for a timer would be for you as a mom to make sure that you're keeping lessons short. So Charlotte Mason would recommend short 20-minute or less lessons for kids in elementary years. And sometimes the kid is not ready to stop. Sometimes they want to keep going. And we want to keep that. We want to keep that desire for more learning, but we definitely don't want to ever get to a point where our child is dreading the lessons because we've gone too long as the mom or because we've pushed them too far. So when you use curriculum like a reading curriculum or a math curriculum, don't go by accomplishing a certain amount of lessons. Just treat it more as open and go. We're going to pick up where we left off and continue on and do as much as we can in this 10, 15, 20-minute time period. And so timers primarily can be for you as the mom, but there is another way that you can use a timer, and that is with a reluctant learner. So the only time that I would use a timer with a student in a lesson that I'm doing with them is if I have a child who is very, very reluctant to do a certain subject. So you may have a child who is very math averse, you may have a child who does not want to do a reading or spelling lesson, and here's how I would use the timer. I would take the timer and I would say, okay, we are going to do this lesson for 10 minutes. And at the end of the 10 minutes, we are going to be done with the lesson, no matter how much we got done. I would love to get, through this reading list, but whatever we've done in 10 minutes, that's what we're going to do. So you'd set the timer for 10 minutes and you'd start the lesson. And what you are not going to do is you're not going to guilt them, you're not going to rush them, you're not going to berate them. They may put their feet down and solidly refuse to do the lesson, and it's going to be okay. You're going to get to the 10-minute mark, and what you may have done in the past that has caused this reluctance is you feel like punishing them for not being diligent in their work and being lazy or whatever you feel like they're being by making them do it longer. And that is just ingraining in them that they hate learning, that they are going to hate learning, and they're never going to love it. And so what the timer is going to help you do is to show the child that you are going to respect their time, and then the child is hopefully going to come around and learn to respect your time as well, and to also learn that they can do hard things in small chunks of time and it will be okay. And that is exactly the type of resilience that we want to teach our students, because all throughout life there's going to be things they don't enjoy doing, and we as adults know there are things we hate doing. And some of us as adults, we are undisciplined enough that we don't make ourselves do those things, and yet we expect our kids to be able to do it. So using a timer is a good way for us as adults, but also for our kids, to show them, look, I'm only asking you for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your time, and then you're going to get to go do something you enjoy. And so if you'll do this often enough with the timer, and then you'll really respect your word, and your child will learn that you're going to keep your word no matter what their behavior was like, you're going to see your child rise up to the expectations set for them and realize that they can work hard for that amount of time, that mom is going to respect me as a person, so I am going to show respect to her and my learning. And I know it sounds like it's not going to work, but it is if you will promise to yourself and to your child that you're not going to guilt them, that you're not going to make this a huge issue, but that you'll just start to show them respect. And then that's going to be modeling respect for them, and they are going to show it back to you. So if you have a child who's a reluctant learner, I know this doesn't sound like it's a tactic that's actually going to work, but it's rooted in the view that children are people and they deserve respect, and they deserve help in learning to be disciplined, that they deserve help in learning to do what they ought to do and not just what they want to do. So using a timer with a kid so that they can see that this lesson is not going to go on for longer than they can handle can be really helpful. So if you have more questions about that, hopefully I explained it clearly. You can ask me in the comments, but I love this brand, time timers. Highly recommend them. They help my girls with just knowing how much time to spend on certain things, free time activities and things like that. And then I use them in school for those ways I just mentioned.